Yo, what's going on, guys? It's J-Mass, and I'm back again with another dope New England adventure. So unfortunately, the weather has been super uncooperative with me today. It's been a really rainy day. It was pouring rain the entire time I was up here, but luckily it stopped, and I want to take advantage of this no rain period right now because I am determined to bring you guys another dope New England adventure. So right now I'm in one of my favorite cities in New England, Burlington, Vermont. If you don't know, Burlington is actually the largest city here in Vermont. It's located right along the eastern shore of Lake Champlain, which is the largest lake in New England. But the abandoned location I'm going to be showing you guys today is a pretty cool one because we're actually walking along it. Now, this isn't just your average rail trail or walking path, you know, the kind you see in most cities and towns. This was meant to be a highway. So we're actually currently walking along an abandoned highway, specifically Interstate 189. Now, if you don't know, Interstate 189 does exist. It's an auxiliary highway, mostly in the city of South Burlington, Vermont. But this was meant to be another stretch of it. This portion of the highway we're walking along right now is only half a mile, although Interstate 189 that does exist and does operate in Vermont today is a mile and a half. But this portion of Interstate 189 is completely abandoned, never used, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit more of the history as we check it out, but it's a really cool one, an abandoned highway here in northern Vermont. Anyways, guys, if you love urban exploration and checking out abandoned locations, don't forget to subscribe to the channel because I'm always doing that throughout New England and beyond. Or you can follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial. But yeah, let's check it out. An abandoned highway, Interstate 189, here in the city of Burlington, Vermont. It's really cool, and I'm excited to check this one out. So the original concept for this portion of Interstate 189 began all the way back in the 1960s, but construction didn't actually begin until the 1980s. And you might be wondering why they even wanted to build this thing if it's now sitting here completely unused and abandoned. Well, the original purpose was it was going to connect to the existing Interstate 189 in South Burlington, right over there in front of us. And it was going to bring drivers northward towards the city of Burlington over here. And it was going to connect them to the industrial waterfront right along the shores of Lake Champlain. Now, from what I can tell, it was abandoned in 1989 because the city of Burlington began a shift away from industry towards tourism. And there was really no need for a highway to connect to the barges at the industrial waterfront. So now we have this abandoned half-mile section of Interstate 189. As I did mention earlier, there's an existing Interstate 189 that's a mile and a half right up in front of us. That one's still in use, but this portion is completely blocked off and abandoned. And it's pretty cool because you can see remnants of what this highway would have looked like. From everything I can tell, this was actually never used, so cars never actually drove along this thing. I think construction was stopped short, but still pretty cool. So I do just want to briefly give you guys a glimpse of Interstate 189 today, you know, the portion that does exist. Right over there, you can kind of see it. That's Interstate 189 in the city of South Burlington, Vermont. Now, this half-mile stretch we've been walking along is the unused portion entirely in the city of Burlington. But the existing portion is mostly in South Burlington, right over there. And you can see there's another street that kind of intersects through. Again, these are all blocked off by big pieces of concrete. Cars cannot come down here. But we're gonna walk along for a little bit, just see what's going on. There's not too much here other than some really cool graffiti. And it looks like an impromptu skate park was actually constructed towards the end. But yeah, let's check it out. So you might be wondering to yourself, do they ever plan on revitalizing or reopening this abandoned highway? There have been 2 attempts in the past. One was unsuccessful and one was successful. The first time was in 2012, the unsuccessful time. They actually tried to reopen and revitalize this highway, bringing vehicle traffic down here for the first time. But those plans were met with a lot of resistance and they ultimately fell through. Nothing ever came of that. But the second time is a lot more recent, June 2022. They began to open this up again. Construction started in June 2022, and they plan to have portions of this highway open in 2024, with the entire project slated for completion in 2027. And from everything I could tell, that's going to be part of the Champlain Parkway, a 25 mile per hour road that vehicles will be able to go along. Now, a little bit soon, you'll see up there, there has been some construction already started. So it does look like they're making good on their promise to actually revitalize this highway. I don't know if it's gonna be done in 2024 or completed fully in 2027 like they stated, but we'll see what happens. But it definitely looks like they're doing construction. So I don't think this abandoned Interstate 189 is gonna be abandoned for much longer. But as you'll notice, a lot of graffiti right here, as I was saying earlier. There's just graffiti everywhere. Now, this part is pretty cool though. It looks like someone made an impromptu skate park right here. Obviously, I don't think these were originally intended to be on the highway, but there's like these little skate ramps. I don't even know what else we'd call these, just things for skateboards, you know? And it looks like these were all created within the last few decades, you know, not the original intention of the 1980s portion of Interstate 189. It looks like these were actually created by skaters themselves, which is really cool. But this portion of the highway is completely covered in graffiti. Kind of gives me visions of the Centralia Road in Centralia, Pennsylvania, if you're familiar with that. Really cool though. Abandoned Interstate 189 in Burlington, Vermont. Pretty dope. So a few more things I want to show you guys. I'm not going to go all the way down, but you can kind of see that there's construction over there. As I stated, since last summer, they've been doing construction, looking to have some portions of this highway opened by next year. 2027, though, seems to be the year of completion for them. But there's a lot of construction down there, so it does look like they're actually making good on their promise to reopen and revitalize this abandoned highway. But really quick, I just want to show you guys something I didn't really mention earlier. Obviously, this highway was meant to be a double highway because you have a little bit of a median or an island right here in the middle. I don't know which way was supposed to be which, but I assume they had, you know, traffic going in different directions. I do know this way was going northward towards the city of Burlington, right up to the industrial waterfront, Lake Champlain, that way. And this way goes towards South Burlington. So I guess the cars must have come down here going towards Burlington and down this way going towards South Burlington, towards the existing Interstate 189. And you can also see remnants of the median right here that was supposed to divide both sides of traffic. This is also completely covered in graffiti. Some of this graffiti though looking pretty good. Now the other thing that's kind of unfortunate for this purpose, the purpose of this video I mean, since they have been doing construction, you can see remnants of that construction here. Giant piles of soil, dirt, rock, debris. This wasn't here before. When I was looking up this location, both sides of the highway looked like this, you know, covered in graffiti, completely open. But since they have been doing construction, it looks like they've been dumping a lot of the debris right over here. So again, I don't think this highway is going to last very long in this state. Still pretty cool though. I just want to show you guys one more time the graffiti covered portion of Interstate 189. Very cool. I assume when this was open, not open officially, but when construction hadn't started yet, I assume skaters probably use this quite a bit as like an impromptu skating ground. I don't know, really cool, really dope. Just give you some more views of the graffiti. Pretty dope spot. I kind of like this, you know, it's pretty chill, pretty short, but definitely check it out before it becomes fully converted into an active roadway. All right, guys, it's starting to rain again, so unfortunately I think my period of no rain is coming to an end, but that's fine because I pretty much showed you the entire abandoned portion of Interstate 189 here in the city of Burlington, Vermont. We pretty much saw the whole thing. As I said, it's only half a mile long, not too long of a property, but still really cool and I don't know, really unique. I love checking out abandoned roads and highways. They're always such an eerie sight, especially with no cars going down them, completely overgrown by plants and vegetation. It's just such an eerie little sight because you're so used to seeing cars barreling down the road. Here it's like pretty chill and quiet. If you're wondering, you know, why don't they turn this into a rail trail or a pedestrian walkway? They already have one actually right over here. There's a fence separating us, but right over there is a rail trail that pedestrians can use. So don't worry, they're allowing pedestrians to walk nearby too. This is going to be converted into another roadway though. I think it'll probably connect from South Burlington to the city of Burlington. I'm not exactly sure the final destination for this road. I'll include below if I find out. But anyways, guys, that was abandoned Interstate 189 here in Burlington, Vermont. Obviously, the existing Interstate 189 that is used for vehicular traffic is in South Burlington mostly. That's a 1.5 miles of roadway, but this half-a-mile stretch of roadway never used. Construction began in the 80s, finished in 1989, and was just completely abandoned because the city of Burlington turned from industry to tourism. As I said, this was meant to go all the way to the barges on the industrial waterfront on Lake Champlain, so just never saw the light of day. But anyways, guys, my name's J-Mass. If you love abandoned exploration, urbex, all that kind of stuff, or just touring New England, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'm always doing that. Or follow me on Instagram at @JMassOfficial. That's at @JMassOfficial. But anyways, I'm J-Mass, Burlington, Vermont, South Burlington, Vermont, Interstate 189. And I'll catch you guys on the next New England adventure. See ya.